All right. Hello, hello. I don't know. Let's see if this one works this time. I have this has been a bit of a journey, but I think we might hopefully have it. So this is going to be take two, and yeah. So sorry about that. Just making sure everything's looking good, and it looks like we are good so far. So hopefully this will keep keep working good. So anyway, yeah. So if you have no idea who I am, which chances are quite high, um, My name is Tim Adams, otherwise known as Gollum Wolf, here on the YouTubes and and the Twitches. And yeah, so I've been streaming on YouTube for a little bit now, every Tuesday night, and I've been working on trying to get set up to do a dual stream. So this is my chance. This is my attempt at doing that today, getting that all figured out, and looks like we're on the right track. So far, so good. Okay. So let me close some internet tabs here because I don't need all that. I don't need all that. Cool. All right. So what you're looking at here is what we did last night when I was um, streaming on YouTube, and this is, of course, Gandalf. Um, and I know I work on a bit of an angle, so I know the it's not exactly the most. Yeah, it's a bit warped, but you get the idea. This is all pencil and pencil, ink, and colored pencil. This was a character that was recommended by the audience when in previous episodes. So, um, yeah. So this ended up being a lot of fun to do. So what we're gonna do now is yeah. So this is kind of a new thing. I'm still gonna be doing those Tuesday night streams, absolutely. But these streams here in particular are just gonna be more just kind of chill and draw while I um, do some warm ups, or I'm gonna start when I start drawing some comic book pages. I'm gonna start streaming those as well. So just kind of just hang out and draw, whatever I really need to do. So whether it's um, I might do some art studies, might do, who knows? Sky's the limit. It's all up in for possibility. So yeah. So anyway, um, when I was starting to go live early, my first attempt to go live, I was doing some gesture drawings, and so this is kind of where we ended up. Um, these first two ended up being way too detailed for a basic gesture drawing sketch, so I'm going to try to keep that in check this time, and see. Hopefully, this will. Now, hopefully, we can keep it in the right level. Yeah, because whoa, that was a noise. What just happened? Yeah, I like it. Bang Faith Creamy W.H. Geiger. Yeah, I like it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hope all is good. Hope all is good. So yeah, so these are some rough sketches. Sorry that that alert came in really loud in my headphones. So we're gonna tone that down a bit. Caught me off guard. um, yeah. So the purpose of these types of gesture sketches is to go real, real loose, no detail, just kind of get that energy going. At least just get the idea of a figure and some movement, and then the idea is then you would work on your details after that, going from there. So let's see. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. Bang Faith Creamery. W.H. Kinger. Bang Faith Creamery. Oh, man. Now I want some ice cream. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're all having a good. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, and what eventually I'd like to do is I do have a Discord as well. I need to get built up, but yeah, eventually I'd love to kind of have a bit of a community going of just other art in comic book enthusiasts. I know this is just getting started, so it's kind of a early days, but it's fun to have some goals. I am currently writing a comic book that I intend to uh, draw, and once I get that done, I'm gonna try to stream some of the pages as I go. I obviously don't want to spoil everything, so we'll see how that turns out. But I'll definitely want to share that part of the process of that creating, or at least how I learn it, and having an audience make sure that I'll actually do it. So it's a win-win all around. So okay, so we'll call that one good. Let's try a. Let's see. I don't know. Let's try kind of a monster dude. So this part is kind of loosening up. Nothing's set in stone. And I realize that a lot of this is probably some of this is not showing up on the camera. I'm gonna work on trying to get a better setup for that. So this will show up a little better, but let's see. Let's just make this guy kind of like a big old monster type dude. His eyes go up like, argh. I don't know, something like that maybe. Let's try. Let's go. Let's do some mechanical pencils so I don't have to constantly sharpen. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I don't even know if that's showing up, is it? Let's see. Okay, yeah. It looks like that's showing up. Okay, cool. Yeah, we could expand, yeah. Because normally you'd see like a cheekbone here, but what if this dude just doesn't have one? He just goes, or his cheekbones are all overshadowed by this giant eyebrow ridge. Yeah, I gotta get used to drawing like this with his microphone right in my face. I keep wanting to lean in closer, like so. I don't know. Yeah, I might be able to make that work. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, much better. Adjustable height desks for the win. Yeah, this is fun. Okay, I'm kind of liking this dude. I don't know. There's a lot to work out with him, but I think we're on a good path here at least. I don't know. We kind of work him out like that. I don't know. Let's do some more. Let's just scoot a dude over here. Do some face warm ups. Yeah, so just having some fun doing some sketches. I don't know if the microphone can pick it up, but outside my window, there's a big old bush that a bunch of little birds love to hang out in. So they're singing away right now. I don't know if anyone can hear that. Let's see. Just thinking about smaller shapes and different ways I can exaggerate proportions and caricature things. So you can try doing like a tall shape. And maybe, let's see. Maybe see about making it kind of a feminine look. Maybe, I don't know. Still kind of working on how I want to stylize female faces. So this is kind of an experiment. Yeah, don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to screw up because worst case scenario, you just do another drawing. That's the whole point of sketching. That's the whole fun of it anyway. They're quick, loose, just kind of not meant to be anything finished. Just meant to be fun. Have all of the fun. Just have fun, yes. Have all of the fun. Give her a little bit of a... There we go. Give her kind of more of a... I don't want her jaw to look so crooked, though. And one eye is a different size. Yeah, the other eye is always a challenge. Do-do-do-do-do. Something like that, maybe. And then we'll give her the neck, ear, and then her hair. Maybe there's like a ponytail or something. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a nice look. Yeah, again, there's a lot of imperfections in that sketch, but who cares? So this right here, kind of head, chest, legs. His big foot. Right, this guy's got his foot coming right at you, and this is kind of his arm, fist. This guy's going back here. I don't know. Didn't really think this one through. That's all right, though. It gave me something to mess with and then fiddle around with. Yeah, just something kind of, loose, rough, just playing around with some simple shapes, just kind of loosening up a bit. Yeah, let's make this guy kind of pointy. Give him some kind of like pointy face. Yeah, a real sharp nose. Man, that neck. Neck is massive. I'll give him tiny little eyes. Tiny, tiny little eyes. I regret not having my eyes. Yeah, let's make him a little older looking. I miss my eyes. It make no sense. All right. So I'm gonna do now, just for kicks and grins, is let's see if I can flesh out these first two characters that we got going, just to kind of, again, loosen up a bit. And to do that, I use a kneaded eraser, or need a gum eraser, or gum eraser. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of words for these. I call them kneaded erasers. They're basically like Play-Doh. You just kind of pull them apart and knead them back together again. Roll them up in whatever shape you like. I like to kind of roll them up kind of like that. Then you can just go over the drawing like so. And I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera, but it does lighten up the image quite a bit. It lightens up the pencil, but enough so that it's not distracting when I go to try to tighten up the lines, but it still leaves it there enough for me to see, so that way, I can see what I was doing, so it's not starting completely from scratch. Let's see here. Trying to find. Let's see here. Thought I had that sharpener nearby. Oh well, we'll just use this for now. Oh well. All right. So now let's try over here. This guy is going to be in ridiculously good shape because comics. Guy's going to do what he's doing. Actually, I don't know what he's doing. I'm literally making him up as I go, but I'm assuming he's doing some good. Probably something really cool and tough and whatnot. Something's gonna require some screen. Hey, hey, Dad. Thanks for coming by. Oh man, I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that alert notice. I don't know if you guys hear it, but man, when that comes through on my end, that alert noise is loud. Let's see. Woot woot woot. Let's see. Glad, but thanks. Yeah, I'm glad you're liking it. Let's see here. Let me go to settings. Oh boy. All right, there we go. Cool. How's that? That should be. You guys still hear me and see me okay? Everything's coming through all right? But yeah, anyway, this guy I'm assuming is going to be quite the tough guy. So it makes sense that he works out a bit. Yeah, I did chest, shoulders, and triceps today at the gym, and woo! I'll tell you, it doesn't make drawing any easier, at least at the moment. Loud and clear. Awesome. Thanks, Dad. Glad to hear that. I'm glad. Yeah. After all that messing around with it, it better be working. That's all I can say. Um, so I don't know. I guess we can give this guy some kind of suit, some kind of super suit or something. I don't know. This guy isn't really meant to be anybody in particular. He's just kind of a dude. Um, yeah, again, I get those Bart Sears bubble muscles to kind of making sure everything at least is in relatively the right space here. You got that little guy there, and then the kneecap. Foot. I'll give him a belt so that way at least we know he's wearing pants. Which is always a good thing. So this guy's all like, I don't know. What kind of voice would this guy have? Like a Jason Statham, maybe? What are you always going on about? Why are you always so annoyed? Why you gonna be like that? I recently watched Expendables, the first Expendables director's cut. I got it on Blu-ray for like $4 at this um, yeah, at this movie store. They had all kinds of, they had a bunch of new stuff too, but yeah, they had a whole section on the wall of $4 Blu-rays, $3 DVDs. Oh man, it was awesome. So I got that one and a bunch of other movies. Unfortunately, the last like I don't know 15-20 minutes of the movie just will not play, and it's unfortunate because it is a bit annoying. But oh well, you get the gist. But yeah, every time every time Jason Statham talks, I just want to do his impressions. Gotta love those one-liners though, man. There's that great scene where, I mean, great. I mean, you could argue it's a little bit trite, but I love it. Where he goes to meet his girl and or the girl that he wanted to be with, but finds out early in the movie that she was seeing a different guy, and so he went to go check on her and saw the black eye on her face and went and tracked the guy down, and he's at the basketball court with his other jerks, and Jason Statham, of course, goes and chucks him out. Jason Statham, thanks. Statham, of course, goes and beats the crap out of him, and then it ends with him jabbing a knife right through the basketball and then slowly presses it down the guy's chest and stops just before it pierces him. And then he just goes, "Next time I'll deflate all your balls." And you're just like, yeah! Get him, Statham. Get him. Is it cheesy? Absolutely. Is it awesome? Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I have an unhealthy obsession with impressions and accents. Absolutely. Absolutely love them. Let's see. Gotta give him the second half of his kneecap. Then you got the there. Keep saying I'm gonna give him pants, but I keep drawing the muscles. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Let's give him some. Let's give him some slim fitting jeans. How about that? We'll kind of do that kind of a thing. Like that. I think that's readable. There. Something like so. You can really make them jacked and striate. If that's the word. The chest a little bit. Just make them look jacked. This guy's diet consists of nothing but creatine. Let's see. Should he have? Yeah, let's give him some hair. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just say this guy hasn't had a haircut in a while. He's long overdue. I don't know. Yeah, again, this isn't anybody in particular. This is just warming up. All right, let's give her a try. Let's see if we can make something out of her. I don't know. Let's see, flying. She kind of looks like she's running almost. When I did that initial sketch, I was thinking flying, but I don't know. I could work with running. Maybe it's I don't know. It doesn't have to be anybody in particular. A little bummed I can't find that one sharpener. Let's see. This one will do. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Is that showing? Yeah, perfect. God, I love these pencils. Good old Tombow, baby. I'm turned into quite a fanboy of them. And I'm not ashamed about that. Not ashamed to admit it. Not sponsored, but if I were, I would not be saddened by it. They're good stuff. Of course, we all know Tombow's watching this, so come on, guys. What's taking you so long? Those birds are going nuts today. I don't know if you can hear them or not. Yeah, they're outside my window just going ballistic. Probably sweating. I don't know. Do birds sweat? Probably not. We get down to the real issues here. Online. Yeah, we'll just nah, I don't want the hand going off the page. Let's kind of follow that initial gesture. So we got the hand going like so. Kind of finger like that, thumb. Kind of doing that. Face looking downwards. Guidelines. And the nose line and the mouth line. Since she's looking downward, the mouth is going to be very close to the chin. That's kind of where the front plane of the forehead starts. Here's the back of the head. So we'll say she's got a ponytail, and this is where her hairline starts. Say the split part is over here. Yeah, I realize the split bangs is not exactly a contemporary look. I realize it's kind of old school. But I don't know. I kind of like it. I've always liked it. And then let's see here. Come in. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so now we can come in and do some get some eyes. She's going to be kind of looking up at us, so the top of the eyelid is going to tuck under the eyebrow at this angle. Let's just say she's angry, because why not? And then at this angle, we'd be kind of looking down a bit on her nose. And then her mouth is going to be kind of just right here. I realize that's pretty slanted. And that's just something to look out for. Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay, cool. Then we can practice giving her some lighting, just kind of give some shadow. Here. Sure, it's got some wrinkles in it. Wrinkles. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. So get the shadows kind of coming this way, so then we'll just kind of do this kind of shadow for her head. And again, this is not going to be perfect. These are all just warm-ups. If it's not good, it's a sketch. It's only a finished piece if it's good. Otherwise, it's a sketch. Let's see. Sometimes it's fun just to throw completely random shapes in and just kind of see what you come up with. And that's the fun of sketching. It's like, you just kind of let go and see what you can come up with. Like I already got this kind of hooked nose, kind of bulbous chin. Give him kind of a sharp shaped skull. Give him a little bit of a hunch. Or maybe he's got maybe it's a hood or something. Ooh. He's got some nefarious purposes a coming. Some nefarious purposes. He's up to no good. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. Baby, you're no good. Was that Linda Ronstadt? Ronstadt? One of those? Not the greatest with names. Hold on 1 second. I love that when you're looking for something, you can't find it because it's in the right spot where it's supposed to be. That's my favorite. So, here we are. We're going to go. Going to shopping. There we go. Yeah, I really like these lead holders because you can get a real sharp, like, needle point on these things. It's pretty awesome. Let's treat it like a big cloak. So he's got now visible hands. Try brushing up, messing around with some shadows and some cloth folds. Frankly, I'm just glad that this dual streaming is working. It's been it's funny. I'd like to think I'm pretty tech savvy, but man, this was a pain. I was able to get YouTube to work just fine, but I don't know. Water under the bridge now, as they say. Let's see. Let's kind of do that whole thing. Like so, and then we'll just kind of. All that, and This pec muscle is going to cause a bit of a shadow, so we'll just kind of do that. And then this right here is going to be a bit. And then we're going to have a bit of a shadow here. And these kind of. The serratus is going to have some shapes to it. And this right here is going to have some shadow. Back at you, buddy. All right. There. Okay. There. Alright, so now that we got that going, let's try doing something a little more finished. I had some markers of mine that I let a friend borrow for a while that I completely forgot about, and she was kind enough to remind me she had them and gave them back to me. So it'd be kind of fun to try these out. So do something I want to do something rather quick-ish. Let's see. Who should I? Well, I mean, I can always just draw my Domini character from my book, but it might be kind of fun to try something else. I don't know. We did Gandalf last night, so maybe. Hold on. Let's see. I should. So we did Gandalf last night. So I don't know. Should we do another character from Middle Earth, or should we just do something completely different? And that's the hard part, is like figuring out what you want to draw. So a lot of times I'll just kind of like what I did with those sketches. I'll just start making random marks until something clicks. Another thing I like to experiment with is I have another one of those that I keep dull intentionally. So what that does is it prevents it from digging into the paper. It also prevents you from going into details too early. So it's kind of nice for keeping loose, keeping rough. Let's see. What's a good fun character to draw? You know what? When in doubt, draw Wolverine. Okay, let's do that. Let's just draw a quick Wolverine face here. Let's just kind of do a head and neck. So I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that's... I don't know if you can see that too well or not, but it will become more visible as we go here. So I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Andrew Loomis. If not, he's a well respected commercial artist from way back when, and he's got a bunch of books on figure drawing and drawing the head and all that stuff. And um, you'll hear a lot of artists refer to the Loomis method when they lay out their faces. So what I'm doing is kind of a somewhat modified version of that, but still kind of, keeping the exaggerations where I want them, but keeping it, relatively close. So I got my eyes. He's going to have a real pointed nose because of the mask. And then mouth, he's going to have a grimace because Wolverine. He's not a happy camper. What are you going to do, bub? Yeah, I remember reading that at one point back in the day. They were looking at, they were trying to get the X-Men off the ground, like in the '80s or something, '70s, '80s, as a movie, and they were looking at one point young Bob Hoskins to play Wolverine. And I'm not gonna lie, in his younger day, sure, I could have seen that. He was hairy enough. He was short enough. Get him into the gym. Oh yeah, he could have done it. Gotta get this eyes right here. Let's see. Yeah. See, this is me trying to do details with a blunt pencil that's not designed for it, which is the whole reason I'm using it in the first place. Um, so bubble muscles. Wolverine is jacked as all get out. So you got the serratus. Not serratus. That's not the serratus. That's the sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid. That's what that is. The big neck muscle right here. It's a big hero muscle. All right, I think that's a decent place to start. Now, I think there are too many round edges for Wolverine on this, but that's okay. We'll fix this in the next step. So now we just go over with that kneaded eraser like before. Just to kind of lighten it down. Try to get as much of it off as I can while still being able to see it. So that's pretty good. And then now we'll go to the sharper pencil. And this is where we will kind of get more of the specific shapes we want. Yeah, I'm still going to be relatively loose at this stage just because, I know we are going to ink it. So I don't have to be, 100% sold with it, but I still want it to be relatively tight because I don't like having too much guesswork when it comes to inking. So I'm just gonna at least get the shape language in, just make sure everything's held together right, make sure nothing's lopsided that shouldn't be. Like that eye there, it's a bit. Here, let's just do the. Let's just do a classic triangle eye. Why not? See, now I'm thinking too hard about it, so now I can't get it. So why don't I just come back to that in a minute? We'll just come back to that. For as many times as I've drawn Wolverine, you'd think I'd be a little bit better at it. I can't tell you what. Let's do this. Let's get the eyebrows in. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking. Yeah, I can live with that. All right. Yeah, bub. Cheekbone up here because I want it to kind of match the other side. I got the now. I got the mouth. It's gonna have a bit of a grimace. Get that serratus. Let's see. I keep wanting to say the serratus. It's not the serratus. Sternocleidomastoid. There you go. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Trapezius. Costume element. Collarbone. I don't really need to draw that out fully on both sides, but at least get that part going. All right, fine. We'll get the pecs in. Okay, so the pecs kind of come on like that. I want to make those traps huge. Yeah, okay. I think we're onto something here. Let's see. I want to make sure that this looks like it's supposed to be the way it is. So I want this to follow the musculature. I don't want this to work against it because it can break the illusion. You know what? We'll just have him. You know what? Nah, we'll just keep the shoulder. And then we'll just give him his X symbol. There. Yeah, something at the top of that forehead. That's something at the top of the head is the dome that I want. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think we're off to something here. So let's go ahead and just kind of plan out where some of the shadows are going to be. So we know there's going to be a shadow under the chin. Definitely going to be some under the neck muscles. Here, pretty much all this under here is going to be shaded. Most of this is going to be, I mean, this is pretty much all black anyway. It doesn't have to be like completely black, so we'll definitely, most of this is going to be black. We'll figure that out. Let's see. Yeah, see again, that's where it was like kind of breaking that illusion. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's looking kind of cool. All right. So, once more with feeling, we'll lighten it down a bit. I'm going to grab a circle template to do that X real quick. 1 second. And guess what? I didn't grab. I guess I don't have one. So let's see. There's got to be something here I can use. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. All right. So let me grab my ink markers. Here we go. We're going to use the old-fashioned Pigma microns today. And since this is a costume element, I'm just going to use the 01, which is a really good size one. For the outlines, I'm going to use a much thicker one, but for this element, since it's a costume, we'll just go with that. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh, it's right. There's a bevel on that. Oh, awesome. Well, you know, hey, it's a thought that counts. We'll just, you know what? It's battle damage. That's what it is. We'll just add some tears. There. Happy accidents, right? We don't make mistakes. We make happy accidents. So I'm going to do... Actually, you know what? I've been kind of geeking out about this thing lately. So let's give this guy a go for a bit. This is a brush pen. You know, this thing you can, if it's showing up here, you can press real light and get a nice thin line like that. Or you can press a little thicker and get like a heavier line. So I really like this brush. So I really like this brush pen, I should say. And once again, you guessed it, it's a Tombow. I don't know if you can see that. Tombow. Dual tip. It does have a gray tip on the other end, but I never use that. So, yeah, there you go. Now, since for the outline, we're going to let this get pretty bold. May go a little thinner on the top part because I'm just imagining the light coming from the top, so we'll let the light, wherever the light might touch it, I'm going to keep it a bit thinner. Wherever I think the shadow is, I'm going to make it a little thicker. And then, yeah, unlike the pencil stage, this is, inking where you really start kind of picking your lines. So one thing I can do here, since I got that curve there, is I can kind of ghost it a bit. Like that. And ghosting is you just kind of practice the stroke basically without actually touching the page. It's just kind of a nice little way to warm up. That didn't come to quite the point that I wanted, so we'll just kind of finesse that. And then I'm going to rotate this. So I want to get a better, let's see. Yeah, something like that. Since this is a costume element, we're just going to keep that real thin. And this is going to go back a little thicker because it's outline. An outline, or you'll often hear it called holding lines, same thing. Let's see. God, I love this thing. Okay. That. Yeah, especially that pec. We're going to make that pretty dark because it's a pretty big muscle. So we'll just go ahead and outline that. And I have another tool I'm going to use for filling in the black shapes. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let me go ahead and get the rest of these lines in. Now, if you notice, I'm not trying to get the full final line in one stroke. There are plenty of amazing inkers that can do that. I am not one of them. You know, coming from someone who's mostly penciled, I'm still a relatively new inker, so I tend to sketch my line out a little bit, but try to do it in a way that it looks clean, at least, and looks good. But you know, I've also learned I can kind of embrace the fact that my style is a little bit messy and just be okay with that. Now the eyes, I'm definitely going to use the microns for, because I don't want to. I'm going to want a little bit more control on those, but I can go ahead and at least get these furrows in, furrow brows. Wolverine's always furrowing. Yeah, I just realized that the way the pecs are drawn, the clavicle should be more over here. So I can fix that on the fly here. Okay. So then, pec. We're going to go ahead and do that. Nope. Awesome. Just knocked everything everywhere. Everything everywhere all at once. That was a weird movie. Okay, let's just kind of move the neck pieces over here. Okay. Tell you what, before I really get, let's hold off on erasing again until the rest of the pencil, until I get this other stuff kind of line marked in. Let's see. And sometimes what I like to do is just kind of highlight the cheekbones, a little bit of hatching. I'll tell you what, here, I'm going to... Yeah, instead of going solid black in these areas, I'm going to try hatching them. Because, like, this thing here is going to be pretty much black. And so is the cowl. But I'm going to try doing that. I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm going to try doing that with markers instead of ink and see how that turns out. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay. Yeah, just kind of as we go, just kind of boom, boom. Marker line, 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 line. There. Now we get a gray. And then I can do that over here too. Oh, yeah, I do got to close off this cowl because that part's, yeah. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. What else can we do? We can give them a little... Tell you what, now let's go ahead and get that eraser back. Let's go ahead and... Try to get as much of that pencil off as we can because it'll make the marker go on quite a bit smoother. But I'm still going to do some more hatching in some spots just to spruce it up a little bit. There. How long have we been going? Oh, we're good. Yeah, I got to add a little bit more battle damage here. I mean, Wolverine often has a little battle damage is nothing new to Wolverine. It's kind of his thing. So that's fitting. We don't need to go overboard with it, but you know, a couple little jagged spots here and there at least makes it look like, you know, I meant to do that as opposed to fixing up a mistake. Just goes to show you, anything can be worked with. We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. Let's see. This mask is actually black, so we're just going to go ahead like that. We'll say this area here is definitely going to be black. Probably most of this is going to be black. Pretty much all of this. And then pretty much all of that. Those X's are just telling me, hey, this is going to be black. This is going to be, yeah, wherever you see the black there, that's where the line's going to be, or that's where the black's going to go, where we see the X there. So actually, never mind. So this is not supposed to be there. Crap. Okay, we'll tell you what. We'll just, there. We'll just, now it is. Actually, this section here, why don't we try? Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like that, actually. Maybe to, just for kicks and grins, let's try bigger. Jeez. Fan Goblin rated with a party of 2. Hey, Fang Goblin. Awesome. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. Hello. How's everybody going? How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? That's awesome. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you have no idea who I am, which is very likely, my name is, Tim Adams, here on the Golem Wolf channel. Thanks, Fan Goblin. Appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna have to check you out, check out your stream too. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I am an aspiring comic book artist and am doing some live streaming to just kind of get out there and get to meet some people and see how things go. I do. I've been doing a live Tuesday night draw stream on YouTube for the last. We got 6 down, so 6 weeks, which have been pretty good. And I've been wanting to get on Twitch, and I've been struggling a little bit with getting the technical issues to work. But thanks to a good friend of mine on Twitch, he goes by Reverend X. He was able to help me troubleshoot it and get it working. So, yeah, if you're not already checking out Reverend X, go check him out. He's a good dude. But yeah, so this is obviously Wolverine. Just kind of having fun just kind of hanging out, doing some sketching. I'm gonna hopefully get this colored here in a little bit. We're gonna use some alcohol markers. But I'm just messing around. He's supposed to be due to a little bit of a mess up here. I had to alter my plans, so now he's going to be a battle damaged Wolverine. So I'm okay with this being a little bit messy as opposed to having like perfect solid black spots in certain places. There we go. Let's see. Yeah. And this area here is all going to be blacked out. Nice pen. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is just the good old-fashioned Micron 0.8. It's hard to go wrong. Most of the outlines actually been done with this guy. This is a Tombow. I've been kind of obsessed with these lately. They're a bit of a, I don't know, come on, you can do it. There we go. They're a brush tip pen, so they got a little bit more give to them. So most of the outline was done with that. But yeah, these Microns are more of a set more of a set size. But for someone who's used to penciling like me, they are awesome. So, Fang Goblin, tell me a bit about yourself. What kind of stream were you just doing? I admit I'm a little bit new to the Twitch space here, so uh, happy to learn more about it and meet some people. You were painting, awesome. What kind of paint were you using, or what were you painting? Painting a canvas, okay. I've been the acrylics, nice. I recently got some acrylics paints. I've been meaning to mess around with them. I've been playing around with some gouache painting, gouache and watercolor, and they're cool. I like them. I do like gouache quite a lot, but I do struggle with the whole reactivation thing. The fact that they, if you have too much water in the paint, you can reactivate the layer once it dries. So I'm hoping that acrylics, since they don't have that problem, I'm hoping that might work a little bit better for me. Heavy base, okay. Yeah, the ones I got were I got the soft body is what I got. There's a great, amazing illustrator whose name, of course, I am blanking on at the very moment that I was going to tell it to you. He's that's going to bug me now. I'm going to have to look that up. Anyway, yeah, he's a British painter. He's known for doing a lot of Judge Dredd stuff, all painted, as well as he does a lot of like Magic the Gatherings, that kind of stuff. And yeah, he did a live stream with David Finch showing his technique of painting line work with acrylics, and it's literally just acrylics and water, and it was absolutely incredible. So I've been meaning to try that. Oh, that's gonna bug me now. But that's cool. Just doing some that. To eat the draw was being like a manga. Oh, okay. Thanks. Um, yeah, doing something like that. All right, cool. Um, what kind of um, what kind of imagery are you painting? What kind of subject? Acrylic and water. Cool. Yeah, I did get a glazing medium and the matte medium and the water and a bit of land. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I got and what do they call it, the flow improver. I got a little bit of that. I haven't messed with any of it yet, just um, because I've been busy with drawing comics and stuff like that. I have a goal, an ultimate goal of mine at some point way down the road would be to get a comic book page done, as all in acrylic painting. I think that could be really sweet. That's gonna keep bugging me now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look at that guy up real quick. Um, I can have it up here in a split second here. Greg Staples. That's who it was. Greg Staples. Um, but yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and bring your crew with you. That I've also been doing a lot of color pencil work. Last night when I was live streaming on YouTube. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Oh, that's a Trendemir I did for a friend of mine. I got to mail that out to him. Let's see. pencils. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There it is. So this is the Gandalf that we did last night. This is ink and colored pencils. But I thought it'd be kind of fun for this stream to try to do those markers. So I thought this guy turned out kind of cool. Yeah, I gotta get more of my. If I thought more ahead, I'd have more of my final work at hand here, so I could show those off. But it's all on my socials, which should be hopefully accessible in the links. And then now Wolverine, of course, needs some stubble, so we're just gonna take the real thin pencil, the real thin pen here. Let's show up that gel line, and then we'll just give him some stubble here. Wolverine was hit really hard by puberty. Do a few here and there with this painting stuff. That's really cool, man. Yeah, one of these days when I'm feeling a little more comfortable with painting, I might get gutsy enough to try doing that on stream, but still kind of messing around with that. Okay, I think that's good enough. Oh yeah, we gotta do the stripes on his costume here. Sorry, I get drawing. I completely forget to talk. Like, hey, Bob. You got people watching you now. Shut up and talk. And I'm like, Wolvie, that makes no sense. I'm asking the questions. You're like, you're right. No worries. Thank you. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything I'm doing or whatever, feel free to shout them out. Yeah, I'd love to see your work. Do you post it online, or are your streams replays available? Creative Faye, hey, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know your name well from the Graybeards and the Twitches or the Twitches, the YouTubes with the Graybeards and the Twitters. Words, there we go. Drawing and words together is a challenge. I'm learning. There we go. Thanks for stopping by, Creative Faye. How you doing? Be back in your next stream. Try to rage again. Thanks, Van Goblin. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. I'll definitely keep in touch. So, Creative Faye, what have you been up to? Have you been, um, if I remember right, you were working on something, weren't you? You had a project or something you were working on, or if I'm remembering right. Yeah, well, it's really funny because I have a few different streams that I watch that all happen to be on Wednesday, and I saw no announcements for either of them because all of them got canceled for one reason or another. And yeah, I like it threw my week off. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, wait, it's Wednesday, right? Like it's really Wednesday, and yeah, it was bizarre. But yeah, I've been trying to keep up with those. Obviously, I didn't have any thing of theirs to ink, so I didn't get to do that one. But let's see. Oh yeah, and I didn't really know Ethan's stuff very well, so I didn't get a chance to draw any of that stuff. But I think the last one I actually got to take part in was the Popeye one, if I remember right. Didn't I do one since? I can't remember. Oh no, the Captain Marvel one, which I thought turned out pretty awful, but here it is. The Popeye one I thought was more successful, although the marker got a little bit blotchy, but I thought it turned out all right. Going, well, blow me down. And then here's my terrible Captain Marvel. I thought she turned out, I don't know. I'm not real happy with how she turned out, but not Captain Marvel. Sorry, Ms. Marvel, the proper Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers. But yeah, she turned out okay, but not my favorite. Let's see. All right. I can just keep noodling and noodling on this all day, so I might as well just. I could do this all day. Might as well go ahead and get coloring here. So let's see how this goes. So I let a friend of mine borrow these markers a while ago and completely forgot about it. And she was nice enough to remind me that she had them and give them back. So that was cool. And these are called Ohuhu markers, I think. Here's the swatches. So I'm going to keep that to the side so I know which colors I want to use. Let's see if I can Haha. Haha, look at that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Aha. So, and then it came with this handy dandy little kind of plastic sheet thing you can put under the paper to keep it from bleeding through to the paper below, which is pretty handy. It may adjust as we go, but it does a pretty good job of staying in place. So let's go ahead and get the flesh tones out of the way first. Let's see here. Let's do the eggshell white, and then for let's see, for shadow tone, let's do the sand. Yeah, all right. So let's just see how that works. Just testing those out on my little scrap paper here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get a base tone going. And depending on how this goes, I might come in with some colored pencil over top just to kind of spruce it up a bit. You can actually get a shade darker by going back over it with the same color, which is kind of cool. And then I do have a couple spots here where the skin shows through because of tears, battle damage. There we go. So then, let's see, as far as shadows go, this isn't really much of a shadow color, so let's put that one back. I don't know, let's try this guy maybe. That's way too dark. Okay. Yeah, I guess this works. All right. It's pretty... Actually, yeah, never mind. That works a little better than I expected. Okay, let's just go with that then. Get that jowl to pop. Cool. Cool. All right. So we're good there for the skin tones, I think. And then we're going to do... I'm going to do the orange suit because that's the one I like. Let's see. Nope. Well, that might work as a shadow color, maybe. We'll hold on to that. I still haven't quite... As much as I love Jim Lee as an artist, I still haven't quite forgiven him for putting Wolverine in the back of the yellow suit. That's not a bad one, actually. I don't mind that one. Whoop. Tossing everything everywhere. Let's see. That's a good one. Let's see. What else we got here? All right. Yep, we're going to go with that one. Okay, cool. Gotta say, I'm liking these markers. Yeah, it worked pretty well. Yeah, I've learned with markers it's best to kind of break it up into pieces when you have a large area like this. I can sometimes struggle with covering a large area. At least my Copics do. I gotta tell you, so far, this guy is quite impressing me. Oh yeah, smell that alcohol. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Cool. Who is he? Hopefully it's obvious who this is, but if you're familiar with Wolverine, this is the classic. Well, technically the original was the yellow, but this is the using his orange costume, which is the one I prefer. Even though I was a 90s kid, there's still something about that 80s era, that look from the orange and brown that I loved. Had a meal. Awesome. I know I'm getting due to have a meal here. Getting not too long once I finish this guy up. What'd you have? Well, the name like Bang Faith Creamery, I'm gonna guess something with dairy in it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Just a guess. I'm gonna do a big outline of this with the black marker, so if anything goes out, it's not really not a deal. Ain't nothing but a thing. Yeah, I gotta say, man, I'm really liking these markers. I can't remember the. I think I can't remember is if the X is orange as well, or if I should make that yellow, like a lot of the other X Men's. Can't remember. Here we go. Yeah, I'm always trying to follow that shape, just to give it that 3D look. Cool. Woo, I can smell them. Okay, so let's see if we can see how's this for shadow color. It's a bit. Something like that, maybe. Actually, yeah, that works pretty well. Let's do that. Okay. Oh, looks great. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Creative Play. I appreciate it. I gotta tell you, I don't know if you've ever used these Ohu markers. Ohu. I gotta tell you, they're impressing me. I gotta tell you, I've messed around with quite a bit of Copic stuff, but I recently got this set. Well, as I said, I bought it a while ago and let a friend borrow it for a art contest she was doing for this company. She's actually the one that introduced me to these, and she had them for several months, and I forgot about it. And just recently, she was nice enough to remind me she still had them, and gave them back to me. So I was like, okay, let's give them a shot again because I couldn't remember how I thought about them. But man, yeah, I gotta say, I'm impressed. I like these a lot. So color me impressed. Let's see. Yeah, they blend nice. They cover nice. I gotta tell you, man. I think we're onto something here with these. Yeah, I've noticed I haven't had as many issues with bleeding or uh, ink pulling with it. So yeah, we'll just cover this whole area in. Like so. Cut across the pecs. He's got manly pecs. Look at Arnold. He's got the manly pecs. Who are you? Oh God. I just had an image in my head of Schwarzenegger playing Wolverine, and I'm glad that it didn't happen. They're wrong. I love Arnold, but nope. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. It's probably good for that for now. So now we will tackle the cowl and the stripes. For that, I want a very, very pale blue, which looks like going to be a blue gray. Is it MG020 is what I want. Appreciate the Hello. There we go. Appreciate the eagerness there. Let's see. Let's see. What does this look like? It's not bad. That is not bad. That is not bad. Let's keep that one in mind. Is this? No. Yeah, the organization of this giant bag leaves a bit to be desired. I acknowledge. I might have to try that. I might have to do some readjusting here. Let's see. How about this guy? Let's go. Let's give this one a shot. Real fast strokes. Looks like the name of the game. Otherwise, I get some of that ink pickup, which I don't want. But everything filled with that Tombow marker is not getting any kind of bleed whatsoever. So, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, those microns, man, they're just going all over. All right, so just for the sake of having a completed product, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a whiteout on some spots here, just for correction's sake. I'm gonna use the good old Uniposca. Where is it? There it is. These guys are awesome. Shake them up good. Make sure they're flowing right. Cool, cool, cool. And you can just kind of go right in. Paint over those little areas that were causing trouble. Oh yeah, crap, I gotta color the X too, don't I? Yeah, I guess we'll just make that orange too. Since I can't think of what else to do. Let's see, I think that's pretty good. I might try to think if I want to add any highlights anywhere. Maybe I don't know. Don't want to go too crazy with this. I kind of could go over that with a red, make that look a little bloody or something, but nah, that's probably that could be fun, but yeah, not for this project. We won't do that. Oh yeah, orange. Let's get that orange back. Where'd it go? Of course, I put it back already. What's this color? Actually, out of curiosity, why? Nope, that's a no. That is way. Let's see, it was the white 10, right? White 10. Haha. Yeah, and then one thing I do like to do with these markers, sometime with alcohol markers, is to you can go over some of the shadow tones with that original marker, and it kind of brings back a little bit of a saturation to it, which is really cool. Sometimes I'll do that with grays, like if I don't have the exact shade that I want, I'll use a warm or a cool gray, depending on the color that I'm shading, and then yeah, and I'll go back over that with then I'll go back over it with that original color and bring that saturation back. It's kind of a cool look. It kind of makes it vibrant. Makes it flow. Makes it flow. There. So then we'll just bring out the handy dandy whiteout again. I always like to test it just to be on the safe side. There. Let's say that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Well, we're going to call that one done then. Might as well give it a signature. All right, now let me tilt it up so you can get a little better angle on it here, so it's not quite so distorted. But yeah, there we go. Good old-fashioned Wolverine. So, yeah, I think that's probably as good a time as anywhere to call it good for now. So, anybody that's come by, thanks for watching. Creative Fae, it was good to see you. Fang Goblin, thanks for the raid. Thanks to my dad for coming by earlier. Bang Faith Creamery, if you are in fact a real person, thanks for coming by. And yeah, so I will be trying to do this on a regular basis. Otherwise, you can always find me Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time, where I do my usual Tuesday night stream. So yeah, so please come on by and find me online, Gollum Wolf on all of the interwebs. Everything should be in a link nearby. So anyway, yes, I'm rambling. So with that, I will bid you all farewell.